Good morning. Welcome to our daily devotion. It's Thursday, December 17th. I'm noticing that the viewership is going up, really going up. I couldn't believe it. It's getting close to 300 views. That has a lot to do with those of you that are willing to share these videos. So God is getting the word out there, okay? Morning, Serena. Good morning, Marcy. Marcy, you doing these devotions on your vacation? That's awesome. You are really growing in your faith. We're in Matthew chapter 5. This is the Beatitudes. This is where right after Jesus starts his ministry, his first big teaching. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Will. And it's all about the kingdom is near. Repent, the kingdom is near. And Beatitudes are extreme blessings. And so we're getting to the next one now where he says, blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. So when we think of meek, what do you think of when you think of people, if you think of yourself as being meek? When we look at who is ruling the earth, it says inherit the earth. When we look at who is ruling the earth, it's certainly not the meek. It's the proud, the arrogant, those that want to be rich, that want to be famous. So this beatitude must mean something else. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Meek is defined as being submissive. And submissive is defined as to surrender. So being meek means to surrender to somebody. So we can try to control everything in our lives ourselves, or we can be meek and submissive and allow God to work with us and control in our life. It's like let go and let God. You've all heard that before. Trying to control everything that happens in our lives by ourselves only causes anxiety and even depression. Good morning, Joanne. Just think of things that happen in your life, serious things that have happened in your life. You could try and control it yourself and deal with it, or you can let go as much as you can and be meek and submissive and allow God to work in your life. It's kind of like my brother, who's 2 years older than me, Leo, just got tragic news from the doctor. He literally has 6 months to live, and here's what I'm amazed about. I called him yesterday, and he's cordial on the phone. He's not on his pity potty. I was able to share with him what happens after he dies, what happens to his spirit, and he listened intently, and he said, and it makes sense, is that even though we know all that, he said it's still hard to let go, you want to keep living, and I understand that, and I think about people that are not Christians that get that news, that they imagine if you were a multi-billionaire, if you were Bill Gates or you were Elon Musk or whoever that guy is that has Amazon. Imagine when they hear that news, you have 6 months to live. What does all of their wealth mean then? What does everything they own mean then? It's only if you wanna inherit the earth. It's not about wealth. It's not about fame. It's about, well, let's look into what it is then. We must be meek and believe that God is active in our lives, loves us tremendously, will walk alongside of us if we allow him. And this is not a crutch. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength and great faith. But what does it mean now to inherit the earth? If you are meek, if you are submissive and you surrender to God, he says, and you will inherit the earth. What does that mean? Is it being wealthy and owning great amounts of land? Is that what it means? Or is it living on your life on earth with great enjoyment and peace of mind and contentment. Is that what it means? Most every wealthy person don't have that enjoyment and peace and contentment. They have greed and they want more and they want more and they want more. So it's obvious inherit the earth is not how much you own. We as Christians who are meek and submit to God, allowing Him to be a big part of our lives, have so much more than wealth. So much more than wealth. I tell you all the time when people say, how's it going, Jim? What do I say? Life just doesn't get any better. And it's not because I inherited $10 million or $10 billion. There's a saying, win the lottery and you're happy for a year. Find a life that's worth living and you're happy for a lifetime. Good morning, Grace. Good morning, Ian. Ian, thank you again so much for your generosity in supporting the kids at in our church. We were able to give them a gift this year for Christmas, thanks to you. So, if it required inheriting the earth, if inheriting the earth meant having more things, then Jesus was a complete failure. A complete failure. One of the disciples, a young man came to Jesus and said, Jesus, I want to follow you. Remember what Jesus said? Jesus said, you can follow me, but know this, I have no place to lay my head tonight. Jesus was literally a homeless person. He owned nothing. He owned nothing. If we look at inherited the earth by him, then he was a total, complete failure. Yet, listen to this. He created the earth. You hear that? He created. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and all things were created through him. And he became flesh. Jesus, through God, created everything. And he was in this world for a short amount of time. It was his world, and it's still his world. And yet he was homeless while he was in it. So it's obvious that being meek, inheriting the earth, means much more than just inheriting wealth. It means having peace. Having peace when you're here on this earth. Being meek and submissive and surrendering to the Lord. When you can surrender to the Lord, gosh, life just is so much better. My brother, because he's able to surrender to the Lord, can die with peace. Can die with peace. And think of this. He owns a building. He has material things that he owns. Do you think that means anything to him now? Of course not. Now, granted, it's great that he'll be able to give some stuff to inherit some to his children that he loves and his grandchildren that he loves, but it doesn't have meaning to him. The meaning to him is the fact that he can leave this earth with complete peace. Leaving this earth knowing where he's going. That's what this means. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. We as Christians should, and hopefully do, have complete joy, complete contentment as we surrender to God. Oh, gosh, I don't need all those things. In fact, as many of you know, I've given most of it away. I don't need to go on fancy vacations. I don't need fancy vehicles. My life is living for the Lord, being used by the Lord to help him build his kingdom. Doing these videos that those of you that are precious enough to be watching them, this is what it means to inherit the earth. This is what it means. I got the whole world in my hands. I got the whole world in my hands because I have that joy and that peace and the love of the Lord. You have that same thing. You all have that same thing. You have meaning and purpose to your life, and you can easily surrender when the time comes. Many people aren't able to do that. Many rich and wealthy people don't have what you have. They don't have what you have. They may have a big hunk of the earth, but they don't have what you and I have. It's precious. God bless you. Thanks for watching this morning. If this meant something to you, again, share it so we can get the word out to as many people as we possibly can. Tonight is our Bible study as we continue going through the book of Acts, and then I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock for those of you that are so faithful. Have a great day. God bless.